don't forget to pick up your copy of Crazy Faith by Michael Todd. As we discussed, we'll be starting our book club where we'll go over this book and do a good old-fashioned discussion. We'll actually be changing up the format on August 4th, and we'll be live with you. So we'll be able to have a discussion on the book, and we'll love to hear from you. See you soon.
Welcome to episode number 8 of
What's Brewing Sis?
I'm Shelly.
I'm Bianca.
And I'm Deonna. And here we come together to serve the brew.
Yes.
Serving the brew.
So welcome back. Episode number 8.
Yes, number 7 was so much fun.
Yes.
We talked about vision boards and just putting your vision out there and, like creating your own vision board. So I'll be interested to see how you guys did on that.
Yeah, we talked about psychics and, our belief or disbelief in it. Great conversation. So please continue to comment. Let us know how you feel and what you guys think about vision and putting it down on paper. And if you think, if you put your thoughts and ideas ahead of you, will they come true, I guess.
I feel like it will.
Yeah.
But don't take my word for it. Try it out and see what you think.
Yes.
And
if you have a picture, you can even show up your vision board. Please do so.
Yeah, we'll love to see it. Because sometimes seeing someone else's vision board may spark something in you to say, you know what? It's not a bad idea. I should put that on mine.
Yeah.
And do you use your vision board as a tool to keep yourself motivated and inspired and keeping track and checking off the list of things that you said you want to achieve?
For sure.
You should, yeah.
So we thought this episode, what would be a fun game is that we would play this or that. Have you guys ever played this or that before?
I don't think I ever have.
So, but I've seen it, so
yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be kind of lightning round. So,
oh, God.
Don't think too much about it. Have fun with it. And the first one that comes to your mind. So this or that. Introvert or extrovert?
Introvert.
Lefty or righty? Lefty.
Right.
Simple or glam?
Glam.
Hey. Rain or sunshine?
Sunshine.
Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Early bird. Get even or get over it?
Get over it.
I said that begrudgingly.
You did. I gotta watch my back. Lord Jesus. Calls or texts?
Texts. Calls.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say calls. Sunrise or sunset?
Sunrise.
I like sunset too.
You do? Yeah. Always late, always early.
Early.
Always late. And Shelly is always late.
And you know what? I don't need you to answer the question. I am trying to get better with time. Time seems to get by me.
Lightning round.
Okay. I try. Dog person or cat person?
Dog.
Dreamer or realistic? Realist, sorry. Dreamer or realist?
Both. Both.
Dreamer.
We'll just say dreamer. We're dreamers these days.
Yeah. Walking or driving?
Driving.
I'm driving.
Okay. That was the last one. So take us back, Bianca, to always late or always early as far as black businesses go.
So there is a stigma. So today's episode, we're going to be talking about minding my black-owned business.
Minding my black-owned business.
So we wanted to kind of bring to light some stigmas and discuss do you think it's true? What are your thoughts on it? So one of the stigmas on black-owned business is that people are always late opening, customer service is rough, they run out of things. What are your thoughts on that? The stigma that's placed on black-owned business. Do you think it's true, or do you think it's as it happens on average the same amount as any other business?
I think it's not true. I think I've had my experiences with a black-owned business, and I'm like, oh, we always. But I think when you kind of go back to some of our other topics, like when you kind of say things, they tend to be your experience with stuff. So I know black-owned businesses businesses that open on time and that do the job just right. I think what's bad is that when you have that experience, everybody kind of puts it on all businesses of color.
Yeah. Kind of like, saying all men are a certain way because you had a bad experience with a man.
Yeah.
You don't want to do the same thing with, businesses. I feel like it happens just as much with other businesses as it does with black-owned businesses,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like because we black, we expect something different. But it's like, well, if you continue to patronize KFC and they give you bad service, or what you think is bad service, then why would you automatically say, I'm never coming back to this black-owned business because of the bad service?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think we put a lot more weight on black-owned businesses that we wouldn't put on other businesses.
Very
so I
true.
feel like that stigma is not really true.
Yeah.
Well, I think I extend a lot of grace to black-owned businesses, but I have had some experiences that were less than, desirable.
Mm-hmm.
But if I see like it's really busy in the black-owned business or establishment, I can say, well, yeah, it may be taking a little long to get my food, but I see that,
It's obvious, yeah.
But I think some of the things that are a little harder to accept is if you feel as though the service level is less than, and maybe the staff seems to have a certain type of attitude. Those type of experiences can make you, feel a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
But as a black-owned business owner, and wanting to be a part of the solution, I think the best way for us to do that is to be mindful of the perception.
Work in excellence.
And work in excellence,
Mm-hmm.
and make sure that we have a staff who has the compassion, to work with people in a manner that is respectful.
Yeah, I think every experience that I had, and I'm sorry, Bianca, I don't mean to cut
No,
you
go
off.
ahead.
Every experience that I had with black-owned businesses that might have not been the nicest or whatever, I've had just the same amount of experiences in businesses with, non-black-owned businesses.
Mm-hmm.
But I think because you are black, you kind of see a reflection of yourself, and
Right.
you want good customer service. You want people to treat you nice. And I think that's definitely one thing that is what's going to be different with Cafe Coco Latte,
Of course.
but also what should be expected.
Mm-hmm.
When you walk into an establishment. And I think once we open our doors and people can see that is the change, when you come in here, you're going to be treated respectfully, you're going to be treated nice and polite, that will hopefully help change that stigma.
I just kind of wanted to go back to what you said about some of the attitudes and stuff like that you find in black-owned businesses. I feel like I find the same in...
No, so I said I extend grace to that, though. Like, I won't say I'll never go back to this black-owned establishment again, even if I didn't have, stellar service, because I still want to support the business. Or if I felt like, I had to wait a little long, but my food was good, or the person who actually was my individual, server was good, or whatever, I won't take whatever was not pleasant out on the whole experience.
Okay.
I'll still patronize the business and encourage, the owner or the workers who were doing a good job in spite of those that were.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just wanted, because I feel like a lot of times when people walk in, and that's something I think about in my head about our business. When we open, they'll be like, "Oh, this black I know what I'm gonna get as far as service. I know it's gonna be this. I know it's gonna be that," because that's the stigma out there, and I want to break that stigma that just because it's black owned doesn't mean that it's gonna be poor service or poor customer service or late or slow or out of
So do you think that we're gonna have to work even harder to do that, or are we just gonna do what's right, do the norm, I guess, of what it should be when you're walking into a business? Because I almost feel like when we're training our staff, say for example, I think we have to make sure that they do understand that this is kind of how it's perceived, where it may be perceived that way because we are a Black-owned business. So do you think we have to work harder to get to where we need to go, or we just need to open our doors and do what we know is the right thing? Like, do we have to have this umbrella under us? Like, we gotta be better. We gotta work.
That's really a great question. I think that so twofold. I think about how we have to be in the corporate world, right? Mm-hmm. So in the corporate world, we have to be better.
Yeah.
We have to work double to be recognized equally, right? So in business, I feel like if we just follow what we already established, what we laid as our groundwork of what we want to see in our business, or what we've seen in other businesses that we don't want in our business, if we follow that path, I think we're automatically going to be winning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus saying, oh, because we're Black-owned, it's going to be this stigma. You need to make sure you do this. I think if we already follow the what's right, and this is our expectations, and this is what we want to see in our business,
just do it.
It'll just follow. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have to clearly communicate and model to our employees how we want the service level to be, and that should be just that we set the bar. Where we want it to be, and have kind of there's no room for
there's really no room for error. There's really no room for anybody to come in, I think, our expatablishment and say anything like, see, I knew that was the treatment that I was going to be. Because now when I walk into any business, I expect a certain level of respect for me. Just being a customer coming in here to patronize your business.
Yeah, whether it's Black-owned or not. So when I said I extend more grace to Black-owned businesses, there's businesses that are non-Black-owned that I feel like if the service is not up to par, that I probably wouldn't patronize again.
Yeah.
So, and that may be viewed as some, unfair bias or whatever. But if I'm spending my money and my time.
You now know what it took for them to get to where they are. So I think that might play a part in it too.
Yeah. Definitely from our background, seeing how much we have to put into it. I try to extend everyone grace. Like you said, now at this time, a lot of companies are struggling to have employees.
Yeah.
So
service may be slow, but it's all about how you communicate that.
Yeah.
If the service, so 2 examples. I was in a drive-through. And it took forever for them to take my order. There wasn't any apology or I'm so sorry about that. When I got up to the window, I'm just sitting there. Like, nobody came over to take my money, to acknowledge my existence. And I think I was sitting there for like a good 5 minutes before it was like somebody came over and they're like, $5.45 is your total. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, hi, how are you? I'm so sorry about that wait. We're really short-handed. Thank you for your patience. Your total is $5.45. It's all about how you treat someone. So I left feeling like, I ain't coming back over here because this is dumb. And, because I felt treated like trash. And versus I had another experience where it was the same thing at a coffee drive-through, and the person on the speaker, hey, look, I'm so sorry about your wait. Let me take your order.
Was that the day you were with me?
Was it?
Okay, so one day me and Bianca went to a popular a coffee shop, one that we plan to take down in the future, right? Take them down. All the way down to the ground, okay? Remember that. So we went to a popular restaurant, same experience, but the person on the opposing end was like, I am so sorry, and she was calling you like sweetie and love and baby. And I mean, it just goes far when you realize that it's not anything, because it's not your fault. Now let me do what's necessary for me to first apologize to you and say I'm sorry about your experience, but I'm here to help you. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to kind of make sure that you have a great experience with my business, as opposed to now you've sat in the drive-thru for long periods of time.
And as impatient as I am, once you treat me like that, I'm like, oh, you forget all about how long you waited. You're like, oh, this person's so nice.
Yeah.
So
that's exactly what you said.
being nice goes a long way.
It does.
Yes. And similarly, me and my husband the other day, my son is like on a Wendy's kick right now, so he wants Wendy's as much as he possibly can. So the Wendy's that's closest to our home, they know us because we go there all the time. They probably know Bryce's order by heart at this point. But a couple of nights ago, we went and the nobody came to the menu board to take our order, so we drove to the window and Joseph beat the horn, and the manager came over and he said, "I'm sorry guys, I had to close early because nobody showed up for the shift." Like he was the only person there. He was like, "I'm really sorry, I don't know what to say. We're trying to hire people, you know." But he was very apologetic. We were like, hopefully Bryce won't tear the deck up, but he's like, you know, he said the next location should be fine. They're open. You know, he gave us another option that was only a couple miles away. So it was like, okay, Bryce, we gotta go to a different one, you know. But and it was just a matter of him being, you know, courteous.
Yeah.
It goes a long way. Like my first job was at a popular fast food restaurant, and my idea was be as nice to people as you possibly can, just to get them out your face. Like move on to the next person, so you can kind of get your day on. So I just was extremely nice, you know, and made people. Some people were like, "You made my day. You were so nice to me." So I just think that that's something that we're gonna have to instill in our, because I think we already have it, but instill in our employees, like, be as nice as you possibly can, and be different. Be different than what's expected of you to be. You know?
I think it's important to be authentic too, because you don't want to just be like scripted. We were talking earlier about when you call customer service, you're having a bad experience, but the people are scripted on the other end to say stuff that doesn't even fit what you're saying, you know. So don't be robotic, but be authentic and sincere about what you say. I think that goes a long way.
It absolutely does. And I think we're going to get to those moments and periods of time when we have cafes all over.
We are.
You know? Yes,
Vision.
absolutely.
Sight beyond what you can see.
Sight beyond what you can see.
Manifestation.
Go
back and watch those episodes.
Yeah, see where it goes. We've been talking about it.
Friend goes. Go back to that episode as well.
Because I know a restaurant owner, and he was saying, you know, he got a restaurant in a certain area, and that area was, you know, all black, you know, this ideal of what a business should look like, you know, and the people didn't fit the environment. You know what I'm saying? Their employees kind of like talk to people whatever the way that they wanted to talk to. It was like what you would expect when you walk into a business. And I think no matter where we are, you don't have to fit this environment. No. Just be a courteous person. So
the service model should be the same.
Yeah, regardless of what store you walk into, it should have the same level of service.
Yeah.
One popular chicken fast food restaurant comes to mind. I remember when they first started opening in the Chicagoland area, it was weird. Like walking in there, they were so courteous. I was like, this is strange to me.
It can make or break a business.
Yeah. And you know, you definitely don't have to model your representation to the customer based on the environment. Be courteous regardless.
Exactly.
One of the things that when we were doing our research on this topic, a key finding was that just 2.4% of U.S. businesses have black owners, even though black people represent 12.8% of the U.S. population. And that's very, you know, enlightening to find that out, you know, when you think about it. You know, just going around, you don't see a lot of black-owned businesses. And I you know, it kind of brings us to wonder why. Like, why don't you see so many businesses?
Yeah.
So
I think what we found so far is it's a laundry list. It's a laundry list of things that you have to do, things that you know want to accomplish. And it's so funny you kind of bring this up. One podcast that I was actually listening to, the person asked, the question was, do you have what it takes to be an entrepreneur? And you do. You got to have some strong
legs to stand on.
Legs to stand on for sure, because it's not for the weak.
Mm-mm.
It is not. And then adding the aspect of going into the food industry, it kind of takes it up a notch, and it's not for the weak.
I think also that the lack of representation also has to do with the lack of resources.
Yeah, sure.
Exposure.
Exposure. A lot of, and this is unfortunate to say, a lot of the black business owners who become successful, I won't say a lot, I will say some, because we have ran into some magnificent people who are black owned business owners who
share the secret,
share the sauce.
Yeah.
They are giving us the sauce, and I'm like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Like, they are giving us every bit of it. But
what I always say is, what I find, the people that are coming into our lives, is they don't want to be the only rich person.
And that makes sense, because if you're the only rich person, I think I said this before, if you're eating and the people around you not, they're going to be looking at your plate. You should want to be around people where everybody's eating. You know what I mean?
You were a rapper in your past life.
I was.
I just don't know it.
Busy. But a lot of people don't come back and say, hey, this is what I did. This is how I got started. It's a comedian. She did she did a little video about, she went to somebody and was like, so tell me, what did you do to get started? I had to put in a lot of work. Okay, but what was the work? Like, what did you do? What were your steps? I had to walk with God and just, struggle. It was like, okay, but tell me, what are the steps?
Tangibly, what you did.
And it's like, well, a lot of people have it in their head, if I struggle, you need to struggle too.
Right.
To get to, and it's like,
concept
why?
Makes no sense to me. I on this journey, and I think very, very soon, we're gonna start helping people, and it's almost, to me, in a sense, gonna be a test to see, how grateful are y'all to be where you are? Let me find out. Let me put you to the test, because what I don't want to do is ever down somebody who has a dream and whatever task it takes. So if I can share something, you're not taking anything from me. You're not going to take anything from me, even if you were going into the coffee business.
Yeah.
No one's going to be able to take anything away from us, because we share something that can be given. Right. But somebody else's story is different. So I find maybe a little bit in our community that people can be a little secretive and like, I'm not going to say anything. But what we found for sure is that the people that have come into our lives have been sharing the sauce, like not holding anything, but I bet we get tested with that.
Another rapper tagline, I could share the sauce, the recipe, but the sauce may not taste the same. So it's nothing wrong with sharing the recipe. There's nothing wrong with sharing the recipe to somebody else.
You not hold your blessings. You're gonna be blocking your blessings. You're gonna be blocking your blessings, trying to hold on to the secret. I want to share this story, but I'm waiting for this guest to come on our show to share it. But awesome story. Remember the cheesecake story? And it was the guy who didn't want to share it. Yeah, I'm gonna let him tell that story. But yeah, do not hold your stuff. Don't hold your stuff as if you can't help somebody else, because you could be helping yourself by helping that person.
Yes. We often say what you make happen for others, God will make happen for you. So we should be openly sharing our knowledge, our experiences. Even
this is part of us doing the podcast.
Yeah. Like even when we mentioned that we got a grant, or we're applying for other grants, if somebody said, well, tell me more about the grant, I'm like, here's
the link.
Here's the link, and others have shared links for grant information or, other resources for building our business. So we've already, creating that network of like-minded people who are like, here, if I have something that will help you, I'm going to tell you. If you have something that will help me, let me know. There's nothing wrong with sharing knowledge.
At all.
Each one teach one, because what we need to start doing is creating this generational wealth throughout our community, because if everyone is doing well, that's more customers for you in your business.
Yep.
So if I'm successful, I'm going to spend more money. If I help you become successful, you're going to spend more money, and vice versa. It's a trickle down effect that I don't think a lot of people understand.
No,
So
I think it's a mentality of let me hold what I have, because what I have is gonna make me money, and then maybe I can share at the end. And it's like, no, if you have it, sharing will only get you ahead and get you ahead, I think, a little bit quicker. Because you are kind of broadening your customer base by, you know, somebody comes knocking on your door saying, what's you guys' recipe, and how do you make your coffee? Some of that stuff might be hard to give away, the specifics of that and what we're starting. But if someone's like, you guys have the best customer service, how do you do it? You can create a whole community of businesses that have great customer service if you hold that type of information.
And with creating a community, you know, maybe you might own a cafe. I might own a laundromat. You might own a beauty supply store, whatever. I might have a customer like, man, I'm hungry. Hey, you should go check out Shelly's Cafe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or, you know.
Absolutely. When people go online and make recommendations, just the other day I saw my cousin who lives in the D.C., Virginia, Maryland area saying, hey, where can I go for good jerk chicken? Immediately, I'm like, that jerk. You know, I'm in Chicago, but I have a connection. My mentor, my friend Angela, owns that jerk in the Maryland, D.C., Virginia area. So I'm like, girl, go to that jerk. You know, and it's just like that. Like, if somebody is asking for a recommendation for something that you have a recommendation for, shout it out.
Yes.
You know. And likewise, it'll come back to you.
It will come back to you. Yeah, be that middle person who is like the link to, you know, to getting other people's businesses noticed, because I think we already know how hard it is to actually cut the ribbon and open the door, the process to get there. So I think to help other people in their process of growing their business, you're not just only helping that business owner, you're helping to have a better community. And it's almost disheartening to see, you know, other communities who have, you know, restaurant or small business after small business, and you go in some of our areas in our communities and you don't see that.
It's crazy. I was, you know, that you say that. I was in a area where it was like a taco restaurant here across the street. There's one. It's 2 blocks away. It's 3 blocks away. And they're literally all right there. But guess what? Everybody's making money.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Or we went to there's an Indian grocery store, but it sits on a lot with like 3 different Indian restaurants, Indian other little different shops. But people are literally going from one to the other. You know, it's community based, and everybody's successful. It's no.
I was so shocked by that, because we went to the buffet, and then we went to the grocery store, and I was like, every business over here.
They taking notes.
Every business over here is getting money, but it might be a restaurant here and a restaurant right over there sharing the same parking lot, but everybody's making money, but they're doing it together as a community. So I would like to see more of that with us. So
I think when we get that shopping mall, that strip
mall,
really
a shopping mall.
Wow.
Don't be minimizing our dreams, Deonna. We get a shopping mall.
That was a mistake. Okay, that too. You know, dream bigger.
Dream bigger. Yep. So how do you get started? So question that people ask with businesses: how do you get started? What have you learned?
You either come to the table collectively with your business partners, or if you're doing it alone, you kind of really do try to sit down and visualize what it is that you're trying to accomplish, I would say, first with this business. So that to me would be the first.
Yes, and you need to write a formal business plan. If you don't know how to do that, there's many websites and templates that you can tap into. The SBA website has a lot of important information for starting a business, a lot of videos and, you know, resources that are there and designed to help you get started.
Yep.
Yeah. I was going to say, kind of similar to what you both said, just tap into your vision. Vision was our last episode. Go watch that.
Yeah.
Tap into your vision. What is it that you like? Whether it's you like to make candles, you love candles, you like to make candles, Google how to make candles. What do you like, about candles, and visualize that. Get your business plan in order, and then start looking at, what would be options.
Yep.
So we are going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back, and check out this business.
Yes.
Hi guys, this week's featured business is Iris Mac Accessories. You could catch her on Facebook at Iris Mac Accessories. If you're looking for the perfect accent piece or jewelry to set off your outfit, check her out. She has a lot of things in stock. Typical sets come with earrings, necklace, bracelet, and sometimes even rings. You may even find something for a male in your life. She also has bracelets for gentlemen, but there is something for every event, whether you're going to a gala, girls' night out, or you're back in the office. Iris Mac Accessories will have something for every style. Check this out. This is something very nice you could wear to a gala event, or something you could dress up a nice outfit for a date night. So again, you'll check out Iris Mac Accessories on Facebook or irismacaccessories@gmail.com. Thanks, guys.
Okay, we're back. Hope you enjoyed the highlighted business of the week. We're going to continue our discussion on minding my own black business.
No, minding my black-owned business.
Emphasis on the black.
Put a little stank on it. That ain't my black.
Oh, I just had an Ulta flashback. Was it Ulta or Sephora?
We were in Sephora.
Sephora flashback. Inside story. We were in Vegas.
Yes, we
were
were.
in Vegas. And
a lot of things happen in Vegas. A lot of things happen.
We were in Vegas.
What happens in
Vegas stays in Vegas. And we were looking for makeup. We were on the strip and we went into Sephora. We were looking for makeup. And Juvia's Place is a brand that, the ladies use.
It's black-owned.
Black-owned.
Yeah.
The ladies use. Juvia's Place.
Mm-hmm.
Feel free to sponsor us.
Juvia's, oh, yes.
Guys, speaking to
Okay, Juvia's Place.
So we went in Sephora, and the lady asked if she could help us.
And I was looking for different makeup, so I was telling her what I had and what I was looking for. And they were like, "Where's the black makeup?" And I was like, "Oh my God."
You got any black makeup?
It echoed throughout the store, so it was like, black.
So I'm a big supporter on black-owned businesses. I seek them out. I think that I want to help because I don't know, it's becoming a passion of mine to kind of help those who help us along the way, who have businesses open, and I see how hard people really do have to work to get their businesses. I want to support black-owned businesses as much as I can. So makeup, was definitely something that I was searching for, and I'm like, why doesn't this store have, the necessary things for me? Because it's so disheartening when you walk into a store and you're looking for something that a hair product that
or
they
it's
would
in the
only
back.
or it's in the back.
And they have one that's like dusty on the shelf.
Yeah,
So.
And in the makeup community, we can even create a whole show out of this topic. Where it comes from makeup, it's hard to find our complexion. Like, we're all three black women, but of all different shades. Mm-hmm. And
sometimes the makeup artists at these counters are not well versed in matching black people with their foundation. They have you looking crazy.
Well, a lot of people were still in the sauce of Fenty. So Fenty came out with 3,500 shades, long story short. Something to match just about everybody. And it looks like the makeup community.
Yeah,
look at her. Yeah. It looks like the makeup community was like, oh, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. And then every company now is like, oh, now we have 2,700 shades. Yeah. You know what I mean? Trying to, hit that target, because we have been hollering for years like this makeup doesn't match, or originally
mix too.
I was just about to say that. I don't wear makeup that often, but when I did, they were like, "Oh, well, you need to get this and mix it together, but put more of this and less of this." And I'm like, "I'm not a chemist.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do
And
this."
what's so funny, I think, even with the amount of shades that a lot of companies are coming out with, we're still so unique where you have to mix it. Or there has to be some color changing component that helps it match our skin color, but that's just because we're so dope.
Right. And the makeup artists need to be trained specifically on how to match skin color. Because some just don't know how to do it, and they still get it wrong. Even if they have the right shade in their toolkit, they don't understand undertones and all of that, so they still have you looking crazy.
Or they be so scared to try.
Right.
It's like, well,
Man, so when you say undertones, Deonna, I went to a popular makeup store and Bianca said, I wanted red, and she was like, a blue undertone. Well, I went and asked for the blue undertone, and she was like, what exactly does that mean?
I'm like, how are you at a makeup store and you don't know what a yellow undertone or orange undertone, a blue undertone? Because a blue undertone on melanated skin pops, in my opinion. If you want that red. So how do you not know that and you work in a makeup store? But I don't know.
So another big reason I think too why it's so important for us to have these type of businesses in our communities, because we need to have our seat at the table, where when we do go into our communities and it's in a makeup store, people, the makeup artists will know. They will know because this is who they're providing their service to. So.
And also be able to provide service to everyone. It's like,
we're
going to specialize in this. We're going to specialize in melanated people.
Yeah.
But also, we're going to know this too. Because I feel like it's so crazy that, some people are makeup artists and they're like, oh, I only know this skin tone. I can only do this. And it's like, well, what about, everybody else? But another thing that upon our research, we learned that resources is a hard thing for a lot of Black-owned businesses. And we're definitely address this a lot more in a later episode. But with us, we learned about resources and grants and things that are available to us. So I think that's important to touch on as well. Yeah,
I think for us, one thing that we did do was ask questions to people who are in business.
A lot of questions.
A lot of questions, and let them know, because back to your point where some people don't really want to share the sauce. I think sometimes it's finding the right person to ask those questions to, for sure too. But it's so important to ask questions. Use people who are in pastors,
mentors.
Have them, because essentially they can help your business and stop you from making the same mistakes that they may have done.
Absolutely. So not being afraid to ask questions and making sure that you align yourself with people who want to help you, who want to see you be successful, who want to be a part of your growth, is very important. So I had a question, which I feel like Shelly kind of touched on, but do you feel that it is important to be intentional and supportive of Black-owned businesses?
I absolutely do. I feel like because I know how hard it was for you to get open, and how hard it is for you to stay open, and how much stigma it is being a Black-owned business. I want to make sure I patronize your place over. Not just being like that, but I do want to make sure I patronize your place over others, because I know the struggle. So I, anytime that I can, I make sure I do so. And plus, I'm more likely going to find something I want from there. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think through the power of me starting my own business, by LaRue, where I do graphics for several companies now, and a lot of them being Black-owned businesses, I now have this passion for Black-owned businesses where I can't help but to want to give them their props for the things that they are doing, because we are out here doing some absolutely awesome stuff. From wine to makeup to soaps to lotions to the jewelry. The list is
restaurants.
The list is just endless. So I I don't feel bad about, going there before I go to another business, because I definitely, like to your point, see the struggle of what that person got there.
Yeah, I think it's important that we support one another. I mean, other ethnicities do that as well, so it's like, why not? Why should that be frowned upon if we,
That's a good point.
It gets weird for some reason when it's black. It's like, oh, how dare you?
Yeah, other ethnicities help each other, support each other. They keep the dollar within their community as a way of, making sure that everyone maintains a certain level of
success.
It's
smart. And that's very smart, so I would like to see more of that in our community.
And I would be remiss to say, my mom told me about an area. It's on the west side. I'll bring it more information about it on our next episode. But it's on the west side of Chicago, and it's like the new Black Wall Street. But definitely a place to visit, where one business owner took a building, rented that building, and then different floors have different businesses.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I thought that was really cool. But I'll more information to come. I'll get that information from her.
Yeah, we definitely need to check it out. So I definitely think that, we should, seek to find businesses that are black owned, that have the products and services that we're looking for, and be intentional about supporting those businesses.
Yeah.
And also, if you want to open your own business, find a mentor. There are a lot of, black business owners who are welcoming and definitely would, be more than happy to share the sauce if you ask. So, don't be afraid to ask questions, or ask them to sit down and share their resources with you.
So don't mind your black-owned business. Don't mind your business.
Don't mind your business.
No.
To mind your business. So don't mind your business and be nosy, not nosy, but inquisitive.
Yeah.
To get the information so you can mind your black-owned business.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
But this was a great episode, great talk. But more about business in future episodes. We definitely are going to bring you guys along with our journey and share more of what we learned and more specific information of what we learned. We're hoping to have good news.
Yeah. And you'll get to meet some of the people who have helped us along the way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those mentors that we speak of that gave us those resources, and just the encouragement to continue on.
Yeah, and I think what we found in doing the podcast, they all busy. So I think we're walking into this world where, are you guys ready? Are you ready for how busy the life of an entrepreneur will
Absolutely. Be? I keep seeing this reel on Instagram. It's like, I quit my 9 to 5 because I didn't want to work a 9 to 5, but now I work 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So yes, I think about that. It's so funny.
You ready? You ready to work 24 hours?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I already do. I got multiple
activities. That's very true. That's very
we
true.
talked about that for the previous episode.
I'm trying to keep my ass open, but yes, I am so pumped up and ready that we're doing this together. So it takes a little of the pressure off, I think.
Absolutely.
But yes.
It takes a village.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of What's Brewing Sis.
What's Brewing Sis.
And keep it brewing.
Keep it brewing.
See you guys.
Bye.